Hi boys and girls, I'm back with another chapter book. Now this book is a funny book. It's called Lulu and the Brontosaurus by Judith Viorst. And the author talks to us a little bit in this book, and there's also not a lot of pictures. So I'm going to hold the book like this while I read to you. When there is a picture, I'll show you. So what does that mean? That means as I'm reading you the story, you have to try to put a picture in your head using your imagination. And I know you're all really good at that. So, Lulu and the Brontosaurus by Judith Viorst. The first pages, though, it's the person who wrote the book, Mrs. Viorst, talking to us. She says, okay, all right. You don't have to tell me. I know that people and dinosaurs have never lived on Earth at the same time. And I know that dinosaurs aren't living now. I even also know that paleontologists, the folks who study dinosaurs, decided that a dinosaur that was once called a Brontosaurus shouldn't be called a Brontosaurus anymore and changed it to a Patasaurus. But since I'm the person writing this story, I get to choose what I write. And I'm writing about a girl and a Brontosaurus. So if you don't want to read this book, you can close it up right now. You won't hurt my feelings. And if you still want to read it, which I hope you will listen, here goes. Chapter 1. There once was a girl named Lulu, and she was a pain. She wasn't a pain in the elbow. She wasn't a pain in the knee. She was a pain, just a very big pain all over. Now, Lulu was an only child. That means she didn't have any brothers or sisters. And her mom and her dad gave her everything she wanted. And guess what? Lulu wanted everything. Tons of candy, tons of toys, tons of cartoons on TV. And if her mom and her dad ever said, and they ever hardly said it, sorry, darling, we think you've had enough, Lulu would screech till the light bulbs burst and throw herself down on the floor. And then she would kick her heels and wave her arms, and pretty soon her mom and dad would just say, okay, just this once, and let her have whatever it was she wanted. That's Lulu. Chapter 2. 2 weeks before Lulu's birthday, she announced to her mom and her dad that she wanted a Brontosaurus for a birthday present. What did she say? What? A Brontosaurus? Yes, she wanted a Brontosaurus for a pet. At first, Lulu's mom and her dad just thought she was making a joke. And then they saw she was serious. They patiently explained that a Brontosaurus is quite an enormous dinosaur who lives in forests and not in people's houses. Is that where a Brontosaurus would live? In a forest? I'm afraid that I'm not absolutely sure. But since I'm the person writing this story, I'm putting this Brontosaurus in the forest, along with a lot of other wild beasts that I'm absolutely sure did not live on the earth where the dinosaurs lived. Anyway, Lulu's mom and her dad continued explaining to her, although a Brontosaurus is into eating plants, not animals. You know what they call an animal that eats just plants? Herbivore. Very good. And although it is cute, it is much too huge and too wild to be a good pet. A dog, a cat, a goldfish, a bird, a gerbil, a guinea pig, yes. A Brontosaurus? Definitely not. Chapter 3. No. Her mom and her dad were telling Lulu, no? Lulu wasn't used to hearing no. And she really hated hearing no. To show how much she hated it, she screeched and screeched and screeched till all the light bulbs in the living room burst. I want a Brontosaurus for my birthday present, she said in between screeches. I want a Brontosaurus for a pet. Well, maybe we could get you a nice pet rabbit, said her mom. Or even, said her dad, a nice pet rat. No, 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 screeched Lulu. I want a Brontosaurus for a pet. Then she threw herself down on the floor and kicked her heels and waved her arms and screeched some more. Did you see that picture in imagination? Did it look like that? I think that's called having a hissy fit or a tantrum. Chapter 4. 4 days, 8 days, 10 days, 12 days passed, and Lulu kept saying, I want a Brontosaurus. Her mom and her dad just kept saying no. So Lulu kept screeching and throwing herself on the floor and kicking her heels and waving her arms, and Lulu's mom and her dad kept saying no. Until finally, on the 13th day, the day before Lulu's birthday, right after lunch, Lulu said to her mom and dad, okay then, foo on you. She had terrible manners. If you aren't going to get me a Brontosaurus, I'm going out and getting one for myself. Lulu packed a small suitcase, said goodbye to her mom and her dad, and walked out the door. And they let her go, partly because they thought she'd change her mind and come running back home in about 2 minutes, and partly because it was nice not to have her screeching and kicking and waving and being a pain. Let's have a cup of tea and a couple of cookies, Lulu's mom said to her dad. Excellent idea, said her dad. So they went into the kitchen and started munching on some cookies and sipping tea. And pretty soon they'd forgotten all about Lulu. Do you think Lulu's going to come back? Do you think she's going to keep on going and trying to find that Brontosaurus? You're just going to have to come back next time and see what happens. Bye.